Great American, Tim.
What quite a lineup we've got today. Matt, how do you feel about all of these wonderful people coming to show you a little bit of a reflective cool on your life here?
I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised. I was just expecting a half-hour interview kind of, and then it went sideways on me real quick, and I was pretty excited. It's great to see everybody. The video made me laugh and cry, like I said, and it's great to be honored and acknowledged. And all of you are dyed-in-the-wool activists as well. So thank you all for your work. This is a joint team effort. You know, I was lucky enough to get this building at the right time in Detroit when nobody really wanted real estate, and then be able to rehab it the way we wanted. I always had the vision of the big room being a multi-purpose meeting / yoga room, and the rest of it. Now we have a deck on the front, so you're all invited to come over. And,
wow.
It's Jefferson's a lot of free entertainment.
Oh yeah,
on the front deck.
Together.
In the kitchen, we have a beer and wine fridge. Not that there's any beer or wine in there, but you might get lucky. And the liquor's over the, so never a problem. Yeah, I'm happy to have this place to be able to host so many different things, and it's great that people are willing to pitch in and help us out around here as well. And the law firm seems to get along with the other tenants pretty well. And Nature's Answer moved out, but one of the other doctors has taken over and still writing recs. And it's moving toward a more, I think, holistic medical practice, which always was my, I don't want to own this or have any, but as a tenant, I still would like, it'd be great if there was a doctor in the house I could just walk up to with any kind of an issue. And I think that's the way cannabis needs to be integrated into a holistic lifestyle, really. One thing about the regulated market I really am happy about is to know what the dosages are of gummies, things like that. That, I got the 5 milligram Kiva chocolate covered coffee beans, and I've got the 10 milligram Wana sativa gummies. And I know they're a bad guy, or at least their distributor not playing well with others. But I like their product doesn't have the aftertaste that a lot of others do. But I'm always looking to try another product. And like I was saying, I've been rolling. I rolled this one, and although I need to smoke less and vape more, I think we all have to be concerned about just smoke, over years and years and years.
Good for you.
I have asthma as a kid.
I want to smoke is good for us.
Well, I had asthma.
I hope so.
And when like weed was okay, but if I smoked hash, it would make me congested, just too dense.
Don't smoke it.
So don't smoke hash.
Right.
Or smoke better hash.
So it's not really.
But don't discourage.
You might be right, Adam. We'll see. So
blonde Lebanese.
I'm gonna start making my own, perhaps. Lebanese from Lebanon, or
yeah, it comes through Israel.
Lebanon, Ohio.
No.
Hey, man.
I smoked Lebanese hash on the shores of the Mediterranean, driving down Juni in Lebanon with a friend of mine. And that's always a great memory of mine.
Yeah.
Well, I remember that's what they had was Lebanese hash, and then it disappeared. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So what happened to the hash? And they said, well, they had a war.
Right.
They stopped growing it.
kind of happened with the Afghani stuff too.
I'll bet. Well, they should be able to grow some more pretty soon then.
Oh, trust me, they still grow it. We still see it.
After 20
The
years,
nose gets it.
after 20 years of the idiots in Washington being up their ass, it's going to be different now.
Is it?
Yeah, I got another guest to bring on in a second, but I did get a message from Brad Forrester that he wanted to be conveyed during this broadcast, and I will read it from Brad. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve on a board led by Matthew Abel, especially consider the weight of the cannabis reforms that were accomplished during his tenure as executive director of our organization. But Matt's dedication to ending cannabis prohibition goes beyond his contributions to our legalization efforts. Matt has been a force for defending the rights of patients, caregivers, and recreational consumers alike in the courtroom. Matt also provided expert testimony before legislative bodies, the Marijuana Regulatory Agency, bureaucratic agencies, and in courtrooms across the state. Matt has even been an invited speaker at many national cannabis reform events across the country. I'm proud to have served at his side for the past 8 years, and I wish him all the best in his future endeavors. Brad Forrester.
All right, Brad.
Right on.
How?
And this isn't happening, I mean, as far as like normal, this isn't like immediate. You're in the process of, as I understand it, and that'll happen down the road. But Brad and a couple others are going to be stepping down sooner than that, and we want to give some tribute to them also. Not using this little time to do that. At some point, I'd like to have him on and talk about a lot of his accomplishments as well, and others too.
Well, yeah, not too far down the road, hopefully. I think Brad and I are probably going to transition off the board at the same time.
Okay.
Which is going to be...
Well, are you giving it up?
Yes, John. I'm going to... here's the deal, John. We really need an advisory committee of gray-bearded men and women, for that matter. And so it's been suggested that you be the honorary chair. And
Me?
Yes, you, John. John Sinclair, the honorary chair. It's musical. You can't say no. It's
I
poetry.
told him it was a good idea, John.
Whatever Adam says.
and there you go.
That's easy.
Sorry,
Hey,
Adam's lap.
Well, that's great. We just got a yes on the John
That's a
Sinclair
yes,
as
yeah.
honorary chair, so that's good. We've been joined by Curtis Gore. Curt, of course, from the New Shango dispensary down in Hazel Park, but also for many, many years as BDT's tobacco and pipe shop. And I know you've got a lot of memories of Matthew Abel you'd like to share, Curtis. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Curtis.
Curtis, can you hear us?
Nope.
I
I'll
can't
figure
hear
that out.
He's listening
I
to
can
some
hear
dope
you. I
stuff.
can hear him.
It's Lady Gaga.
Flip it to the black one.
Lady Gaga. John Sinclair says Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I'm glad we got that on tape.
She's an answer. Trust me, she's been an answer in the New York crossword.
I can hear Tracy in the background.
That's great.
Yes, when in doubt, let the wife sort it out. That's
And
fine.
that needs to
Try.
be the solution
Your
several
mic
times
in.
on this show and others.
So Matt, thanks so much for being so gracious to put up with all of our memories and our ribbing and our teasing. We're not done yet, though.
That's hilarious. You guys caught me off guard. I would have dressed better or something.
Just be
You're looking good. You're looking good.
What do you need a hat for?
Try mic in again.
Yeah. John Schlicker in our chat says, very well said, Brad Forrester. Thank you, John, for your comment. And Josh Maupin says, thank you to every person on the panel today for all your hard work. You are the activist all-star team. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cannabis Council hat. There you go.
What about just taking it out?
I gotta
and
tell
put it
you.
in here?
How do I
One of my
talk to
favorite
him?
things is my Cannabis Council scraping card.
He has a mic.
I got those.
Bowling tray.
I've got one too. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
I encourage
favorite was
fans
the
to reprint them.
Cannabis Council coffee cups, but My coffee cup, all the stuff washed off of it.
Oh,
You
No,
must have had it for a long time.
no, it's just a yellow. I've been having it for a long time.
Matt, I don't know if you just heard,
No,
but
it's just a yellow cup.
John needs to replace the Cannabis Council coffee cup. Can you take care of that?
Oh, we have a couple of those. Yeah.
There you go.
Mine's
I've
just a
worn a
yellow
couple out.
cup now, Matt.
over the years.
Sorry.
That's fun.
Mine's just a yellow cup now. All the writing
That's what I
disappeared.
don't understand.
Curtis, are you with us yet, sir?
Oh,
you-
I hope so. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was having some
Hey, Curtis.
technical difficulties for a little while, and my wonderful wife Tracy came up and tried to correct them. So I hope everybody can hear me
You
clearly.
did a great job.
Well, thank you. Well, thanks for having me on, and I'm honored to be part of this gathering here. Matt, you've meant so much to me as I entered the industry a number of years ago. I'm going to shut my other phone off here. And I have to tell the story, I think, of one of the first times that I met you at your office, where Charlie escorted me down, Charlie Strackbine, and we came down to your office. And I was just mesmerized by, at that time, the amount of art and collectibles you had on the wall. And then shortly thereafter, we entered the conference room. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was the former sound studio where the likes of Howard Stern once hosted his show. And then I remember you brought out a real good-sized joint for us to start the conversation with. So that was one of my first, I think, times that we had an opportunity to meet. And I think that just started the whole momentum, not only for me, but for my wife, Tracy, to be part of the marijuana law section, and obviously now the cannabis law section. And just you've meant so much to so many of us. And I'm able to kind of, on the certain side of the industry, kind of carry the torch and help. And that was all started because of the likes of yourself and others that have been on the broadcast today. So I'm just so thankful to be part of this. And I know I spoke to Adam. I have to get a copy of this over to John. So this is a photograph that was taken at the Chrysler Arena by Clyde Stringer. And this is one of the only ones that he had remaining. So on the stage at that time, we think it was John Lennon, although we can't be 100% certain. I think he indicated that was John Lennon when he snapped that photo. So I know that I spoke, I think, with Adam about this. So John, I got to get you a copy of that. And Matt, I'll make sure I get you a copy of that to hang on the wall.
Awesome.
Yeah, because of you, Curtis, I've thrown that up on. You sent me like a digital version of it, and I've put it up on the screen here before. Not today, but in the past when John.
Oh, right on. Oh, that's right, I did. Okay, super.
Yeah.
That's where I got mine.
That's really cool. Thanks so much, Curtis.
Very cool.
You're always going to be cool artwork. So talk about a collection. I was in the new BDTs the other day, and I love it, man. It's the museum above all the displays in the store. If you guys haven't been in there, walk in there and walk around and check out all the good classic cannabis artwork. It's fun. It's nice. And Curtis, you've been a great friend over the years. I appreciate everything, and much success. Shango is an awesome store. I might even go back. I was telling everybody before you came on, I just go in to check out the pre-rolls because that's what I think the market likes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, telling my accountant to write it all off. But, so,
That's great. One other story, if I may, which I think involves Deborah. Deborah, I think you remember this story. This was back right after Tommy appeared in 2015, and they gave him the key to the city.
Yeah.
I thought that was the opportune time to go back and speak with Ed Klobuchar, the city manager, and Jeff Campbell, the building manager, about where Hazel Park was headed with cannabis and the possibility of inviting retail, grow, and processors to be part of the community. And Matt, I remember you and Deborah at that meeting, and it was a really good exchange of information. And it was just such a relief to have conversation with the municipality that was receptive to what we were talking about versus all the years of operating head shops and just in fear of prosecution or the police coming in, or just something always bad happening. It was just always this schlep rock cloud that seemed to be hanging over that, oh my God, you know, are we going to be in business the next day? And that whole conversation at the city of Hazel Park and just good things happening. I think Rick, you had a conference. You were actually up at a podium at a city council meeting at one time, and I think maybe Jamie had even been there as well, talking to the city council at one time. I think that might even been before maybe 2013. Rick, do you recall that at all?
I spoke to Hazel Park a couple of times. I was living in Hazel Park in 2013.
Okay.
And look at
Yeah, I remember
there was a Big Daddy's at least attempt there too.
Yes, with the Phoenix Cafe.
It's like the Mecca now. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Marvin had a thing going at the Phoenix Cafe. And we broadcast some planted green trees for a while from there too.
Yeah,
We did some fun parties at the Phoenix.
Yeah.
no, it's been great to have the support of all of you. John, I'm just so thankful you got down here for the podcast. The one day, it was probably 2 years ago, that you came down and we did a podcast here. I got a couple photos that Jamie and Rick were so gracious enough to give me. So again, just wonderful. Adam, and again, thank you for all you've done, hooking me up with shirts, Hash Bash shirts, and just doing a lot of great things. So I think a couple of you might have heard this. So we did here at BDT's get a consumption lounge license. So the hope is that eventually I can incorporate the museum with the consumption lounge license. At least that's what I'm thinking nowadays. It's kind of evolving as things kind of evolve in the industry, but that's the latest incarnation of, I think, what we hope to do. So we broke ground on the parking lot last week, and hopefully we'll break ground on the building in the near future. So I'm definitely going to send out invites to all of you to be part of anything that we do here, and I hope you can show up.
Very exciting stuff.
Great idea. Yeah, great.
Looking forward to it.
I've heard a lot of people talk about doing a cannabis museum in Michigan, but there's nobody that has a potential 420 friendly cannabis museum program in place. That would be pretty amazing.
I
The
donated.
City of Hazel Park's great.
I know.
What was that, Chuck?
I donated something to Curtis for the museum. It was the first effort to legalize marijuana in Michigan that John Sinclair and his gang put together. I think it was in 73 or 78. I don't know, but it was, I had a petition and a bumper sticker from that effort for statewide legalization in the 70s. And I brought it into Curtis and contributed it to the museum.
Nice.
And I think that it's going to be a hell of a great way to have a consumption establishment, is to have a museum with it.
Yeah, there's all types of really cool stuff there for sure.
Yeah, that is one of my prized possessions. That's for sure. And Matt, all along, the ideas, the entrepreneurial ideas, you are someone that, I tell you what, if people took you up on a 10th or 100th of your ideas, there would be a lot of wealthy people around. I know that I try to kind of absorb everything that you talk about, but just so many great ideas that you've had and have very much influenced me, and now my daughter, on thinking of the right ways to approach the industry but also still keeping in mind where this all started and those that have put up the fight for many years for the freedom of the rest of us. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Thank
I'm
you.
honored.
I love how many jobs we've created, how many families
Yes.
have dinner on their table from work that we create, businesses that we made possible.
Yeah.
And how many people get to safely smoke pot, feel better.
You know, Chuck, that's a great sentiment. I think what we're going to do is give everybody one more shot at saying thank you to Matthew Abel, and then we're going to have to wind it down because we're down the last 10 minutes. And you know what, Chuck? Why don't we just start with you on that? You have your final thoughts about Matt, if you would, please.
Well, Matt is a brother and incredible activist, and he was there in 2002, 2003, 2004 when I first got involved, and with the PRA at the beginning and right on through. It's just been someone that you could always depend on to get the work done, and then also have a good attitude about it, and even help me have a better attitude if I wasn't having a really good attitude that day. And that's a friend to count on, someone who gets things done, and then knows how to live life in a happy way as well. And a real Renaissance man, Matthew, and thank you very much.
You know, Curtis, we just had you speaking for a little bit, but let's see if we get final thoughts from you so we could wrap up the show, please.
Well, I think Tracy wanted to say hi.
Tracy.
Hi. Matt, here, pop in there.
Oh, hello. Hi, Matt. How's it going?
So I guess real quickly, again, we're both very thankful of Matt and again, the rest of you on what you've done for the industry and for us personally. We're very proud to know you as friends and I believe part of the family of the cannabis industry. And Matt, keep the fight going in one way, shape, or form. And we look forward to seeing you this summer. We've missed out the last summer or so we'll look forward to seeing you this summer.
Matt, you're on mute, sir.
Oops.
Great to see you guys. Thank you so much for all the well wishes, and it was quite a surprise here today. So I'm still a bit shocked, but you guys are awesome. I really enjoyed being friends, and right on.
Right on.
Keep on keeping on with this stuff. We haven't legalized it federally yet. There's still work to do, but
Really
enjoy.
Adam, can we get your final thoughts for today's show?
Sure. I was trying to think, how long I've known Matt or how far back we go. And I know I've known him a long time. But one of the coolest things I got to tell everybody is I invited him to my wedding. And as a wedding gift, my lawyer friend gave me a seal meal and enough packaging to package about 40 kilos. So I thought that was really cool. That shows what kind of guy he is. He's a stand-up guy who knows where it's at.
Amen.
And,
Hey, it was on the registry. I figured you needed one.
Well, of course it was on the registry. Doesn't everybody need one? Counselor? Right. So,
Jim,
that's that guy. And I really appreciate having him as a friend. I tell people that, having lawyers as friends can be difficult because you can't hire your friends. Because if they make a mistake or they do you wrong, you got to punch their ticket. And you could never do that to a friend. So Matt's one of those guys who, over the years, if I had a legal question, I was happy to call him up, knowing that he wasn't going to get the gig. He always still gave me the information.
Well, I appreciate you never hiring me, Adam.
Right. I've heard that many a time.
Jim, how about you?
Hey, Matt. I think we're going on a decade of knowing each other from the days of Ohm, and remember you coming in and seeing your son there as well, and then running into you at every fundraiser or event on U of M's campus or around town, and coming down to your place and the inspiration that you bring. And I'm thrilled, and you got to say, in this entire room, I feel honored to be in the presence of all these people and the ones that were on the show earlier today as well. But Matt, I appreciate your service. I wish you the best with your retirement. You deserve every bit of happiness, brother.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah. Good to know you, and I've so appreciate all the progress you guys have made and all the activism that's come.
You said that before.
Been there. You've seen me because you've been there. So we're all in this together.
One thing we can know about Jim is that he is a real spark plug in Ann Arbor in this psychedelic group. He's really taken over and taken leadership. And on September 19th, is going to be the first Theo Fest, and everybody's invited to a celebration of sacred plants and fungi, and Jim runs the podcast now, and he's the fundraiser who gets us all the money that we need. So Jim's been really great with that psychedelic thing, and we're going to even use a piece of the old artwork. We're going to use the Psychedelic Rangers graphic for some T-shirts, which will be fun from the old day.
Thanks, Sean.
Hey, Deb, I'd like to go to you, and then we'll talk to John.
Yeah, I mean, just Matt, my favorite Eagle Scout. Just to mention the greatest party ever, election night 2018, when we won, and we had the greatest party ever at Cannabis Council, including a goat and some crazy shit going on. I mean, what a night. I will never forget that, and it was so great to work with you on my legalized. And you're just, one of my idols. What can I say? Good guy all around. Just a nice guy. Oh, real nice to everybody. I love you.
Love you too, Dad. Mutual, much respect. You're a solid activist and have done so much to bring this movement where we are. I really appreciate that. It's always nice to have friends who are stand-up people, And
yeah, I feel the same about you. Really good to have you as friends. Good to know you. I mean, legendary community. But still, cool.
John Sinclair, can you wrap up your thoughts about Matt Abel at the end of our show, sir?
Well, I think the world of Matt Abel is one of my favorite human beings. He was a giant in the cannabis legal industry. And like they were saying, like Adam says, for a lawyer, he's a hell of a guy. I remember my friend Jeffrey Strauss. I don't know if you all know him. He was a great lawyer in Ann Arbor. And he died prematurely. He died. He had physical problems. And I got to speak at his funeral at a church in Ann Arbor. And I had the opportunity of saying Jeff Strauss was a rare individual. He was a lawyer who was not only human, had a heart, but also if you needed some weed, he had some weed for you too. I can't say that about Matt, but we smoked some together. I know that much.
Well, thanks, John. I'd like to share something that I'm sure nobody knows about Matt Abel. There was a time.
Whoa.
Secret.
Wow. I was upstaged. But there was a time when my marriage was splitting up, and I lived in my car for a couple of weeks, and Matt Abel discovered that and brought me to move into Cannabis Council. I lived in the basement for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And that was something nobody would ever do.
Was that before the fancy bathroom in the shower?
Yes, that's right. It was all spooky, and I felt like I was in my grandparents' cellar, but it was needed. It was a crutch at a time when I was limping,
beautiful thing.
And I appreciate that. So from the bottom of my heart, Matt, you've meant a lot to me on a personal level as well as on a political level too, and you've had all the activism accolades, but you're just a damn fine human being.
Amen.
There you go.
Yeah.
J-Lo.
Do that. Jamie, what do you say?
Hey, I say I don't know if we can really do it. Well, I don't know if we can do enough tribute for the contribution that Matt has brought to this effort. And we always talk about how it's taken thousands of us over decades, and it has. And always trying to learn more, get better perspective on those who are working on this and how this foundation was built by the time that I came along. And I'm really happy for those who were there before, during, and have seen some success and are still working on it. And, there's nobody who epitomizes that and has been more inspiring in that way. In fact, one of the nationally recognized people from our state, and somebody to be proud of representing us around the country since I've been involved. It's just been a part of my landscape and my environment and my inspiration the whole time that I've been involved in this stuff. Hopefully we can continue talking about more great stories, because I know in this short time, we can only do it so much justice. But I appreciate you coming on today,
Great program.
Well,
Matt, it's your floor.
Much respect and back at you, Jamie and Deborah and Jim and everybody. Thank you all very much. Look, everything that was said today may or may not be true, but just for the record, I deny it. Okay. Just want that to be clear. And you guys are all, thank you for doing this. It's been a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm glad hopefully it's recorded, because some of that stuff I literally had forgotten, and there's so much history in there. It's been great having this place for 10 years. And thank you all for having me on the show, for going through all this, and Jared for putting the photo montage together and all that stuff. And Rick for leading it and for being on the board with NORML all these years, and Adam and John for coming out. Go Tigers. I'm serious, man. We can catch the game yet in an hour.
Not going today.
It's 88 degrees out. I think I may take my bike downtown, see what I kind of trouble I get. So I'm glad you're all well. Hope everybody's happy. I'm retiring as the ED of Michigan NORML, but I'm not going away. But I'm hoping to be a bit of a snowbird. So we'll see about that. I'm tired of the cold winters. So rah, go Tigers, and see spring training.
All right.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Well, I really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who's not on anymore. Tom and Keith Straub and Reverend Steve and
Tim Beck.
And Curtis, who's now left, and Tracy.
Yep. And the mysterious invisible Chuck. Right. He's
reverse camera Chuck.
I got to learn how to reverse the camera.
No, he's got it figured out now. He's got this.
Now, I'm looking at the back of my computer.
Oh
well.
How do we get out of here?
No, we see it. You get out. You hit the button.
I'll kick everybody out, but
yes, Cabbage Cafe. What a wonderful episode, Jamie.
Thanks, everybody.
Soon we'll all party together.
See you guys.
All right. Peace out.